This is the story of Kofoworola, a 21-year-old woman whose life took a tragic turn and left her in police custody, facing an alleged murder charge. Kofoworola's trouble started early in life. At a tender age, her father separated from her mother. Though her father was financially comfortable, he refused to take responsibility for her upbringing and abandoned her with her mother, who was a petty trader struggling to survive. With poor grades after graduating from Festa Grammar School, Kofoworola had limited options. She joined her mother on the streets, helping to sell wares just to survive. Then came another blow. She became pregnant by a man who completely denied responsibility. With a baby to care for and no support, Kofoworola was forced to fend for herself. Eventually, desperation pushed her into what she called night runs, visiting clubs late at night in search of men who would pay for sex. According to her, prostitution was never a choice she wanted. It was survival. Her mother could no longer shoulder the burden of caring for both her and her 3-year-old daughter. So Kofoworola did what she believed was the only way to keep food on the table and pay school fees for her child. But fate had one more cruel card to play. One night, around 3:30 a.m., Kofoworola stepped, hoping to make enough money to pay her daughter's school fees. A man stopped by her side and asked where she was going. She told him the name of a club, and he asked her to get into his car. At first, nothing seemed unusual. But as they approached her destination, the man suddenly sped past it, ignoring her screams and pleas to stop. He drove into a dark, isolated area. Then the nightmare began. The man pulled out a knife and ordered her to remove her trousers. Terrified, she obeyed. He demanded oral sex, but she begged him to have intercourse instead, explaining she was not comfortable with oral sex. He became violent. He grabbed her bag, drove off again, and ignored her screams for help. When they reached Bono Road, she saw people nearby and screamed louder, but no one came to her rescue. In that moment, Kofoworola says she found courage born out of fear. She struggled with the man for control of the knife, screaming for help as she fought. 2 soldiers eventually noticed the struggle and began banging on the vehicle, ordering the man to open the door. He refused. During the chaos, Kofoworola managed to seize the knife. She stabbed the man in the chest and forced herself out of the vehicle. By then, she had already been stabbed multiple times, on her legs, ankle, and hands. The man later stepped out of the car, opened the bonnet as though searching for something, and then collapsed beside the vehicle. The soldiers, fearing he might retrieve another weapon, kept their distance. Moments later, he was dead. The soldiers contacted the police. Kofoworola was taken into custody. Today, she sits in a cell, bruised, traumatized, and separated from her young daughter, waiting for fate and the law to decide her future. Now, the question remains unanswered. Was this murder, or a desperate act of self-defense?